Hey guys, we're gonna work on delivering machine 2 here. We're working on getting it taken apart. This is the one with the riser. We're putting all the bins in there for transport.
Okay, if you put that in right there, slide it back that way. I pick this up, now we'll slide it back this way and come out that way.
Got it in there. Got it all buckled in. And we're closing it and heading on the way. We are now at our location. Board wipe in Owasso. We are working on getting the machine out now and gonna have to assemble it out here in the parking lot and then roll it in. And we're driving the machine into the building after getting the riser installed. So we're gonna go put this in their back room. I kind of wanted to talk about the super sorter now that we've delivered our second one and kind of talk about where we're going with the project. Since you've seen us now deliver our second unit, I wanted to talk about it with one running in the background so you can hear, I guess, the noise level of the machine. You can talk over it, but also so you can see the machine itself dispensing the cards in the background. Wanted to talk about our plans. So far, the machine is running about, I'd say, 1,500 cards an hour. We plan on that to go up to 2,500, maybe even 3,500. It just depends on the software. What I wanted to show was our developer machine. He is using all of our leftover spare parts from anything and everything. Once he gets this machine, a lot of our software and everything will speed up. But for right now, what our developer has been doing is he has been remoting into this computer right here and working on the machine itself. That way we don't have to burden an actual customer with any issues or any bugs or anything that come up from the software. However, there will be some in these early days. It's really hard starting a software company and really hard starting a production company, especially fully out of pocket. We've had no investors. Everything we've been doing has been out of pocket, and it's been going well for how it has been. I believe tomorrow we are going to finish up this machine here. Machine 3. It just needs a scanner on it and the conveyors calibrated. But we now have a cool button on our screen for calibration where I can come in without the developer's help and change these homes to what looks like to be a home. So I just come in, rotate these as they come. And I've also got a level here. I have a digital one somewhere, but this one works just as good. You put it up top, and if you have it flat, it'll come up as 0, and we just do that the whole length. And then we have our home settings here, where then our A and B locations are offset from that home position. And in the same trip of taking that one, we are also taking our developer's machine. So by Sunday this week, we should have his machine, and a lot of the software be going a lot faster. Then shortly thereafter, we've got machine 5 over here. So this is machine 5. I believe this goes to Joe. Joe, you know who you are. And all we've got to do on this machine is put it together. We've got all of the hardware components put together, all of the buffers ready to pop on the ends, and we've already started the frame. The frame is now finished other than the backs here. The hard part basically is done. It's just a matter of putting all the pieces into the frame. Once machine 5 is finished, we'll move on to 6, which 6 has also had the same treatment. All of the pieces are pre-built. All of the hardware is pre-installed. She's already working on lining these. This is already lined. So things are coming along. As soon as these 2 machines get off the table, then I will move everything over and then continue printing. I believe it's machine 9 and 10, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, printing 9 and 10. And from there, we've already got all the filament. As you can see, we just need the table space to put it. And as soon as these 2 machines are gone, we can scoot everything over and get it all moved and keep pushing forward. Now that we've got in a groove of pre-doing all of this menial stuff, like putting all these little screws and T-nuts in, I don't know how many, 13 of these that we do to hold all the conveyors up. And I wanted to give a walkthrough of all the computing and stuff. Since all of this is patent pending, I can feel comfortable sharing how it all works. On the back, we have everything running. It's got a Raspberry Pi here. That Raspberry Pi controls our front and back servos. All of those are fed with power injectors that are voltage limited to handle the servo itself, because everything is running off of a single 12-volt power supply. And that is feeding an internal fuse box, which feeds the back fans, the front fans, the back servos, and the front servos, all on their own separate fuse. From there, we've got it all powered off of a power cord, which also powers off of this emergency stop, which also powers our scanner that gets mounted here. We have an Ethernet port that goes over to the Pi itself. It's definitely not required, but it's definitely useful. All the screens, we had a slight hiccup after our first machine, which we have now resolved with a secondary board. This subboard is now a multiplexer for each screen board. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 screen boards in here that all feed into this, which feeds into the Pi. This board used to be one of these, where it was a multiplexer multiplexing other multiplexers, which made things more difficult. Now it's all in a hub and each one has their own address, which makes our end on coding a lot easier. And we now have the end piece. This was done a long time ago, but I never really showed this off. It was always just the end of the machine here. But now we've got our discard bin, which comes out to this drawer here. We've got an internal bin and a third bin that comes down to drop here. And how all of our mechanisms work, some of you may be curious, and part of why we've taken so long to release this second machine is because we had to do a redesign of our funnel and some other software stuff here and there. But our funnel used to, it just had this little thing that dropped it down, and we were noticing cards starting to get stuck here like this. It's hard to do now because it's not meant to get stuck like that, but it was. It's really hard to make it, but it was happening. So we've refined this where it now swoops the card back whenever it drops. It pushes the card back this way to make it hit that slide on the bottom there and then kick it over into the bin. All of these bins are lined with a slick Teflon tape to make it come out a lot easier. But now this new funnel design now makes the cards drop a lot better. So that kind of gives you an idea of what's hiding behind this cover here. Everything on this machine is fully user serviceable. It was designed that way so we can help users fix the machines a lot quicker with less teardown in between. Everything's magnetic. If you need to get inside everything, it's all up here. We've got the same servo controller board here, the voltage limiters. These are on a different voltage than the ones that are on the back. It kind of goes to show about how much time and effort has went into this to make it production ready. I know the prototype has been ready for a while now. A lot of people have been asking me for an update, so I wanted to share an update about where everything was. Everything is going smooth now that we've got past this little software hurdle. The biggest part about it was that screen issue that I mentioned, that board. We could not figure it out. Finally, we found a solution. Now that we're past that, we're starting to deliver the machines we have out. It shouldn't be much longer now to start getting the other machines out. The wife has been doing a great job at putting all of the screws and everything in, just the repetitive tasks over and over again. Like this part, we've got to place 3 magnets in, and then we've also got to put a screw and a T-nut in that. I believe on one machine, there is, just on this side alone, on this side of the frame, there is 40 of these angle brackets on this side. So then you've got 40 on that side, and then you've got 4 per each, and there's 14 of these. So we've got 56 more, so 80, 56, 136 of this, which involves us screwing 2 of these in, and they did not come with the little screw part inside of the T-nut of the bracket. So we had to put that in as well. You've got 4 of these on each end. And then within that, we have, let's see, 4 screws with 4 T-nuts on 13 of these. And then we also have to assemble the conveyor 14 times, putting a bearing in both sides. So that's six bearings. And then there's another bearing in here, which has to be mounted onto the front plate, which itself also has 14 nuts and 4 screws, which then gets screwed together onto this bracket, which has 6 T-nuts and 6 screws with a servo screwed onto it. And then this screwed together with a metal bracket. So there's a bunch of repetitive tasks that we've been having to do, but now that we're starting to get ahead of everything, and now we're just waiting on frames, and instead of waiting on frames and then doing this, we can do this and then wait on frames, and it just speeds the whole process up a lot better. Production are definitely a hard learning experience, and we have now made friends with the FizzBatch team. They're great people. They truly believe in what they're doing, and they have a great article explaining all of the sorting machines that have tried to exist or are trying to exist. And they wrote all of the struggles and all kinds of different aspects that not a lot of people are aware of that are a problem and a thing to overcome. For example, patenting a machine. That is a very long process, very expensive, and I'd say involved. And if you're not reading what your lawyer is sending you back, then it can get patented wrong. We almost had that happen a couple of times with ours, but now that we're over that little hurdle, it's just a little bit further, and then it is a full-on international patent. I guess worldwide, you would call it. And I guess that's a pretty good sized update on the super sorter and basically how it all works, where it's at in the phases of production. I think this is a pretty good update on everything that we've got going on since our last one. There's been a whole bunch of stuff going on, a whole bunch of building, a whole bunch of rearranging. Everything back here feels like a madhouse. There's so much going on. I'm trying to keep up with people. I'm trying to keep up with building machines. I'm trying to keep up with bug testing. And now that our software for the machines themselves is pretty much finished with the screens, I can finally be in here and focus more on that. And it'll feel less overwhelming because now our developers can do their own thing without needing me. So I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate every one of you for being patient with our growth. SortSwift is growing very well. I think it's going to be the next big software management for TCGs. Hopefully it starts turning some heads at some larger marketplaces to give us an API. I have requested, I was politely declined because they themselves are not offering it to point of sale systems. And a sorting machine fell under the umbrella of a point of sale system. A inventory management solution fell under the umbrella of a point of sale system. We did not have the point of sale system released when we asked for API. Now we do, so I guess technically we still fall under a point of sale system, but even having a separate project for a sorting machine did not classify as being authorized for an API key. So we will just keep pushing forward with our non-API routes and continue trying to grow without API. If anybody knows of any solutions for API on a certain marketplace, that would be great. Any connections that they can provide, we would love to hear it. And honestly, I am completely open to also doing the UK marketplace as well, because we do have a lot of customers in the UK. But yeah, hopefully you guys gathered and learned a lot. If there's anything else you need, definitely reach out to me. I am always available on Discord. You can always send me an email. You could call my store. We always answer the phone as long as it's on. Sometimes we forget to charge it, and I'm sure everybody does. Yeah, if you guys need me, just always reach out. Thank you guys for watching so very much. I hope to continue to make you guys some videos and update videos more like this. Now that I'm less stressed and we have more freedoms in our delivering abilities, now that we can just churn machines, program them, and deliver them. Thanks for watching.